Welcome back and many thanks for staying with KTN News Center. Now the demolitions in the city continue. The bulldozers rode towards Langata Road. Business people and owners of Southend Mall as well as users of Langata Road and Bagathi Way witnessed the demolition of the mall among 4,000 other targeted buildings in the city. NEMA says it's going after the buildings for sitting on land.
Travelers at the Langata Mbagathi Way roundabout Wednesday morning running into the demolition of the South End Mall. Business owners rushing to open their enterprises only to end up struggling to salvage whatever they could.
I wish we were given a notice. We would have saved so much damage. We weren't told anything.
I'd even asked the management, but they gave us a confirmation. Our building is not affected.
Managers of the building owned by former Bobasi MP Stephen Manoti claim the demolition was unfair.
Mimi ndio nimekuwa nikisimamia tukiwa na huyu foreman. Na hizi manyumba ziko na all the documentation.
A lawyer claiming to represent the building owners also showed up with documents stating that the construction was approved, a court ordering the demolition secured.
All I know is that there is a stay, and this known to all the parties. They have been served the order.
NEMA officials present declined to speak but indicated that building owners had seen this coming. The building fingered for sitting over the Motoine Ngong River also blamed for flooding South Sea, Langata and Nairobi West when it rains.
The river is far from the houses actually.
We are also being told that sewage sijui imeletwa hapa kwa mto.
Sewage ichaletwa hapa. Wewe unaona sewage imepitishwa huko imeenda pande ile.
South End Mall is estimated to cost between 1 billion and 2 billion shillings. Its demolition coming hot on the heels of the flattening of the Java Coffee House in Kileleshwa on Tuesday. Mark Namaswa, KTN News.
All right, and in light of that, we want to have a discussion about the state of Nairobi City. And I'm joined in studio by Peter Mbaya, who is the Director of Operations at City Hall. Good morning to you, and many thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
And we've seen this, of course, the demolition of buildings which are built on riparian land. That falls under NEMA. But the question that many are asking is, whilst lauding that we are doing this to reclaim, such important land, how did we get here? Who is in charge of giving the permits for acquisition of the land and building on such lands?
About the acquisition of land, that one is the Minister of Land, which gives the title deeds. Ours is just to give plans. We approve plans for the buildings. Now, for these ones, along the riparian, that is, the county is not involved. Ours are those illegal structures, those kiosks you see around, buildings which are built along the road, on the roads. Some have even taken school lands. Those are the things we are going on. We are demolition.
And we are seeing a lot of demolition, that which falls under your dockets, for the illegal structures and all that. And the question is, because we are doing this, would be seen as a knee-jerk reaction. Some of the people own those illegal lands. So how do we get here? How do we then mitigate that it doesn't get to a place where we are acting once all these things, all these investments have already been done?
Now, you see, anytime, what I can say, our country, there is always a regime which comes and there's a new one which comes in. Mm-hmm. Now, it depends on how it is managed. Mm-hmm. Now, the regimes which is there currently, I feel it is doing the right thing because at least it is teaching Kenyans on how to behave, because Kenyans sometimes don't follow law. They take advantage of the law and then do things which are not wanted. Mm-hmm. So this is the result now they are feeling when a building like that one is demolished. We lose a lot of money. So it is also bringing notice to Kenyans that they don't do anything wrong. Let them do right things at all times.
And as we speak, there are many buildings in various parts of the city that are not fit for habitation. Very, very unsafe. What is the role of, the City Hall? How often? Just talk to us about what you do to ensure that such buildings, constant monitoring, to ensure that such buildings are not, inhabited by Kenyans?
The ones which are already built, we have given notices. Now, during this regime of maybe Mike Sonko, there are no buildings which are coming up which are illegal. We approve their plans, and that is when we allow people put up their buildings. We supervise. We physically supervise the buildings. So I don't expect any more new unplanned buildings coming up.
And when notice is given where there are such buildings, and giving notice for even those inhabiting those such buildings to vacate, do you usually face difficulties where Kenyans maybe don't understand how important it is to vacate?
Of course, we get resistance, but then it is our mandate to educate them and make them understand as to why we are doing it. And maybe for them to understand it happened when we were not in the government that time. So we are educating them, and that is why people are complying now. People are starting to comply. Yeah.
And for the last 1 year, there has been a lot of talk about the state of Nairobi, from congestion in the city to the city being literally very dirty, garbage and all, drainage, and now there's talk to restore the glory of the city. The plan to decongest the city, having 2 matatus per circle, no borders in. How is that going?
It is working very well. For the last few days, you can see the jams has eased in Nairobi. We have spoken to the stakeholders. We spoke to them. We agreed on how to go about it. They are helping us in enforcing that. And to prove that, for the few days, to Tomboya Street, which is very notorious, Runangala, you can see those people, the 145 matatu, the Omoina matatus are all complying. And along Runangala, as we speak now, is very, very clear.
And there was a plan to restore and renovate the termini that are outside the city, the Machakos Country Bus, the one at the railway. And there was talk that those contractors who were meant to do the restoring have not been paid. That's why there's no progress in restoring those and rehabilitating those termini.
Most termini have already been done. They are ready for use. It's only very few which have not been done. Like now, the Modhurwa, there's a road which is to be constructed to join Jogoo Road. Then railway, we were tarmacking railway. I think we finished some few days ago.
So matatus are already using
yes, we have not relocated them out of CBD, and that is why we are planning. That's why we are trying to control them by allowing 2 vehicles at a time in a slot. That means one will be picking and the other one is dropping. So by doing that, the owners of the matatus will regulate their vehicles, the movement of their vehicles.
The circles themselves.
Maybe they'll do their timing in that when they get to town, only one vehicle comes to town at a time. Otherwise, it is not as people are saying that we are banning them out of CBD. That one will come later if we see this one is not working.
And what we've seen so many people really complaining about and were lauding when you put up as a policy is the banning of borders inside the central business district. Is this taking root?
The reason for us to ban them in CBD, it's because of their indiscipline. You see, they don't follow traffic rules. They ride on the opposite direction. They ride on pavement, hitting people here and there, stopping where they are not wanted. That is the reason why we are removing them out of CBD. Otherwise, if they behaved, the Boda people are also very important to us. They are helping to ferry our people to places.
Indeed. But so is this already in effect?
It is effective. It's doing very well, although there are some resistance. Some of them are resisting, but most of them, and especially the officials, are with us, and they are giving us the support we need. Yeah.
And there are designated spots for them to stay their motorbikes in the city.
You see, we have provided some areas like railway, Uhuru Park. Those are areas we allow them to park their motorcycle in, that they can, when people want them, people can come there and maybe be taken to wherever they want to go.
Okay.
So we have anything we do, we usually give an alternative. So the only thing we try to do is just to keep order. within Nairobi.
Okay. And drainage is another big issue. We've seen every time it rains, Nairobi literally floods. And I know I spoke to one of the officials at the city when doing a story on the same, and the issue has been said to be that the drainage system we have currently in place is one that was designed years ago and cannot support the kind of infrastructure we currently have. What then is the way to manage such a systemic problem?
Currently, we are redoing all the drainage system, and we have been doing it for the last 3-4 months. So even in the next rains, you'll not see the flooding because we have cleared all the water systems. We have cleared, we have done some new drainage system.
In which areas exactly?
In some areas, like now in Eastlands, like Buruburu, there are some which are being done. Dagoretti. There are some areas where we are redoing the drainage system.
Mm-hmm. And even within the CBD,
and within the CBD,
because we've seen it flooding also so much when it rains.
We are doing it, and you see, you won't see everything we are doing, because when you see city council people digging around, you won't know what they are doing. But mostly it is the drainage system we are redoing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And whatever happened to the rapid bus transit system that we already saw, Thika Road marked for that, and it was supposed to help ferry more people and
on that one, let me not answer.
Yeah.
Let me leave that one for the administration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's then talk about the rehabilitation of roads, which is also a big issue. Literally every small street in the city, it's very hard to find a smooth drive. And you live in the city, so you know that. So what is being done about that? Because even Kenyans, Kenyans make fun of everything, but to show how dire the situation is, that we actually have potholes within potholes. Yeah.
That is why you see that there are a lot of activities within Nairobi for the last few months. We are doing those roads. Some of them have been done, and we are still doing them. This one is caused by those illegal structures which have been built along the same streets. You see, they don't have where to what do you call it? They don't have places to throw their garbage. So they throw it in Howley everywhere. We provide them with places where they can.
And when they don't have places to throw garbage, then that is clearly an administration issue.
Yeah, because they are unplanned structures. You see, we don't expect to see illegal structures, but you wake up one morning and you find that there is an illegal structure. So by the time we plan and know what to do about it, the city already has been, it's full of garbages.
So what's being done about that?
We are doing, that's why you see we are demolishing a lot of illegal structures. We have very many lorries hauling the garbage to Dandora garbage site place. So we are doing a lot to make Nairobi at least reclaim its glory.
Okay, and as we wind up, so then what can you tell residents of the city? Are we on track to seeing a Nairobi that was once very glorified, once very beautiful? Is there faith and hope?
Nairobians, with your support, there is faith in reclaiming the glory. Give us the support we need. Also, be aware that we need to follow our laws in that we are able to make Nairobi governable. We want security, as very secure Nairobi. So if you join us and see whatever we are doing, we are not doing it to kill the small business people. It's only that we want to clean Nairobi and make it a better place for the Nairobians.
Right. And the governor, Mike Sonko, today posted a very serious post on Facebook. I don't know if you've seen it. And I'm just going to read it and get your reaction on that, saying that I better be a one-term governor and leave a legacy than entertaining grabbing of public land and utilities. Remove all your valuables from the undermentioned public utilities with immediate effect. It speaks about the proposed land for Gigiri and Ruaraka fire stations, High Ridge Hospital. There's a number of them. I can't read all of that. And then saying that further note that any county or NEMA official who conspired with grabbers to approve building plans on public utilities will also be prosecuted alongside the said suspected grabbers. So he's putting his foot down.
I am in support on that, and that shows that he's tempting his authority. So Nairobians, beware and be ready for that kind of process.
All right. Many thanks, Peter Mbaya,
Karibu sana.
Director of Operations at City Hall.
Karibu sana.
Thank you for the update on what's happening in the city.